everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today we're going to look at ukulele chord progressions, some common ones in the key of D major. Let's get started and I'll show you how it works. Today we're looking at a Fretboard Toolbox Essential Ukulele C Tuning Edition, and we're going to look at the key of D major today. These are the 5 most common major keys, and the key of D major is one of my favorites. The thing you're going to want to know is these 6 chords here, D major, E minor, all the way down to B minor. Those are your 6 main chords in the key of D major. And then you're going to want to know this first set of Roman numerals. So if I say, what's the 1 chord in the key of D major, you'll say D major. Or if I say, what's the 4 chord, you'll say G major. 6 chord, B minor, etc. So let's get started looking at some common progressions here. So if you look down to some D major chord progressions, I'll show you how you can download free pages for this book in a little bit here. Some D major chord progressions. So a 1-5-1 is going to be D, A, D. Okay, so 1-5-1 is going to be D, A, D. And let's take a look how that one looks like and sounds like. So here's D major. Okay, I play it this way. You might play it all barred here. You might put these 3 fingers here. You might put these 3. But however you're playing it, D major is just these 3 notes. It's D, F sharp, and A notes. So you got to cover those 3 there. So that's D major. Major, A major, D. And when it goes to the 5 chord, I want you to listen for how much tension there is in a 5 chord, because 5 chords always make you want to go back to 1 chords. Let's listen to a 1-4-5 progression and see if you can hear that. So D major's the 1, G major's the 4, A major's the 5. Okay, so here's D major, 1, G major's the 4 chord. 4 chords kind of push you away. Listen, I'll go back to the 1. 1's the home. 4 chords push you away. Then we're going to go to the A major. 5 chords make you want to go back to 1. So 1, 4 pushes away, 5's got the tension, back to 1. 1, 4, 5, 1. And if you want to play along with some free jam tracks on the Fretboard Toolbox website, if you go to Tracks and Tab, click on 200 free jam tracks, then you can come down here in the keys of G, A, and I've got lots of chord progressions in the relative minor keys and the blues keys for these common keys here. But today we're playing the key of D major, and so if you can hear any of these chord progressions, me playing guitar with those and strum along with it. So this is me just playing all D, this is me playing the 1-5-1, this is me playing the 1-4-5, and it tells you some stuff to listen for and scales you can use. So let's get back to the progressions here. So we played a 1-5-1, we played a 1-4-5. Now we're going to play a 1-5-4. So that's D, A, G. Okay. So here's 1. 1's the home. Now we're going to the 5, so there's tension. Then we go to the 4 and it pushes away, but it can still bring you back home. 5, 4, something like that. And so that's a 1-5-4. Now we're going to throw in some minor chords here. So a 1-6-4-5, super common progression. If you've got the Essential book and you click on, if you click on there, the interactive one, the B minors are going to be made of the notes B, D, and F sharp. So I got to get these notes down here somehow. Okay, So I play it like this, where I'm barring all of these guys. So I'm barring all of these and just putting this guy on. And if you know what a B major looks like, it's like this. So to make it a minor, I just take off this finger and change the D sharp to a D. Okay, so we got 1, 6, okay, and then, so we're doing the 1, 6, 4, 5. So 1, 6, 4 has the tension. 4 pushes you away. 5 has the tension. Back to 1. 6, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so that's a 1, 6, 4, 5. Now we can play a 1, 6, 2, 5, and the 2 chord is an E minor. And I'm going to play it like this, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to leave this finger barring here, okay, because this was my B minor chord. Now to turn it into an E minor, I'm just going to add these fingers, okay? So B minor was B, D, F sharp, B. To turn that into an E minor, I'm going to just throw these two guys on, okay? So that's D major, B minor, that's the 6, 2 is E minor, 5 is the A major, 1, 6, 4, no, 2, 5, sorry. 2, 5, back to 1. We could play a 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so that's going to be D major. Coffee has not kicked in yet. D major, E minor, G major, A major, D major, E minor, G major, A major. That's a 1, 2, 4, 5. We can play a 5, 4, 1. So this is a cool descending kind of a progression here. So listen to that. 5, 4, 1. 5, 4, 1. So lots of Western music has these ascending progressions like 1, 4, 5, 1. Okay, but lots of Eastern music has descending progressions. So there's lots of cool Western music songs that use these descending progressions because it's something really cool and new to our ear, or newer. So that's a 5, 4, 1. So the thing about learning these chord progressions is that when you learn the chord progressions of the chords that make up the key, okay, the chords that make up the key are called diatonic chords. Okay, so these chords here, except for the C major in italics, these 6 chords here are diatonic. They make up the key of D major. And all the notes in white boxes are the diatonic notes that make up the key of D major also. And so if you can see like what notes that these chords are made of, like E minor is E, G, B, those are all in the key of D major in the white boxes. F sharp minor notes, F sharp, A, C sharp, those are all in the key of D major notes. G, B, D for G major, that's in there. So the cool thing is the diatonic notes of like the diatonic scale, major scale, is the notes that make up all of the diatonic chords. So it's these things that just fit together. It's the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti in the United States, how we say it. This is the chords that make up the key of D major. And then anything that's in italics in my books is outside of the key. Like these are bluesy notes. This chord is outside the key. Now that you got the key of D in your head, listen to if I go D to C. how that C's out of the key, but it doesn't sound that bad. It's just kind of some tension. D, C, D. So the chords that are outside the key are all these ones in italics, and there's lots of different rules to break. But when you first really get those chords, the diatonic ones, the ones that fit and make up the key in your ear and in your head and under your fingers, then anytime you start playing chords that are outside of the key, you'll be like, oh, that's something different. And that's really, really helpful because it will just train your ear so well. So don't forget to check out the Tracks and Tab 200 free jam tracks and start playing along with some of these chord progressions. And once you get these guys down and they all sound like they fit together real well and you can hear it in your head, try some of these chord progressions that break rules. If you want to learn more about fretboard toolboxes, go to Pick Your Instrument, where I've got books set up just alike for all these different instruments. Today we're messing around on the ukulele, and be sure to click Essential versus Complete toolboxes. It's the #1 question I get asked. If you want to hear about my print and ebook options, if you want to download free pages, click Look Inside for any of my books, and you can get over a quarter of the book for free, including all the free instructions and the key of G major pages for any edition. And the fun part is once you see how one toolbox works, you can see how they work on all the instruments because it's all set up just alike, and those chord progressions sound good on all the different instruments. And be sure to learn those Roman numerals because they will make a big difference in training your ear to hear songs. And lastly, what they can do is once you know those Roman numerals, if you click on this quick major key decoder, flip to the last page of the essential book, then you can see, like we were playing in the key of D today, and here's the 1 chord, here's the 4 chord, here's the 5, and if I want to play a 1, 4, 5 in the key of G, it's going to be G, C, D. And if I want to play a 1, 6, 4, 5 in the key of C, it's going to be C, A minor, F, G. And so being able to, that's called transposing, and being able to transpose songs quickly is super, super critical. Like some of the stuff I sung today wasn't in key at all. And so I would either have to pay more attention to what I was singing, or I would change the key that I was playing those songs in. So anyways, I hope you found something useful today and found something you can play around with and have a good time with and learn some new ideas that you can take with you. And I'll be back on more Fretboard Fridays with more videos on more of my favorite instruments. Thanks for taking a look.